Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the stage at the end of the room and the screens as we welcome author of Rocket Boys and October Sky and the chairman of the board of the U.S. Space and Rocket Center, Homer Hickam, composer and conductor Stephen Bulla, and the brass band of Huntsville.
The Von Braun Suite, composed by Stephen Bulla, was commissioned by the brass band of Huntsville to commemorate the 50th anniversary of man's lunar landing during the Apollo 11 mission, and to honor the vital role that Huntsville and the Marshall Space Flight Center played in that historic journey, and also the contributions of one remarkable man, Dr. Wernher von Braun. Composer Stephen Bulla will now conduct the brass band of Huntsville for the world premiere performance of the Von Braun Suite. As a boy, Wernher von Braun dreamed of building rockets to explore space. He had no way of knowing how or if such a vision would become a reality in his lifetime. The first reality, sadly, was during World War II. At the end of the war, von Braun and his rocket team escaped from Nazi Germany in a perilous train journey to Allied forces. From there, they traveled on to the United States in a secret operation called Paperclip. By the 1950s, von Braun and his team were moved from Texas and arrived at Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, Alabama. The German scientists united with their families and immediately fell in love with the Tennessee Valley, as it reminded them of the hills and valleys and forests of their native home. They became American citizens and cherished their new country. Dr. von Braun and his team would go on to build the rocket that would launch the first American satellite, Explorer 1. It was the dawn of the 1960s. Now was the time for greater strides. Von Braun's team moved to NASA, the new American civilian space agency, and Dr. von Braun became the first director of the Marshall Space Flight Center, charged with building the rocket that would truly begin the human exploration of space. From this work came the Saturn V, the rocket which would carry man to the moon. As the largest rocket ever built, the Saturn V was the culmination of von Braun's boyhood dream of building spaceships. There was constant design work, around the clock, meeting production deadlines, solving technical challenges, but finally, the Saturn V blasted off, pounding the air as it climbed into the sky and beyond. After several test flights, Apollo 11 lifted off atop the Huntsville-developed Saturn V on July 16, 1969. Von Braun and his team provided a perfect launch, and the crew were on their way. During this historic journey to the moon, just imagine the wondrous view of the astronauts as the moon draws near, and then the dangerous descent in the Eagle Limb to the Sea of Tranquility. When Buzz Aldrin announced "Contact Light," Von Braun's dreams became reality. And as Neil Armstrong stepped on the moon, the famous words reached the world. That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind.